Hello, hello. Hey, Frosted Sentry. I'm starting a little earlier than normal today because I woke up several hours ago and I feel like trying to work. It's about 8 o'clock and I'm still sick, but I hope I have more energy than I did the other day. So if today doesn't go well, then we'll just do another morning stream and call it. So yeah, let's see. Hey, yo. The to-do list from last time, and hey, Blob. We had some things I wanted to fix up, and then there are a couple of, hang on, let me move this mic. There are a couple of little things I wanted to do. Well, maybe they're not so little, I don't know. But getting adventurers to act as workers and then proper pathfinding in the town. I don't think the pathfinding is super important, but I think getting adventurers to act as workers is probably something I should do. And there are many different pieces of that. So let's plan this out a little bit. Somewhere in here, I probably have it written down. Yeah, this. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so remove hire worker. When hiring an adventurer, show it in the town, have it function as a worker. Yeah, so all the graphics that we have for adventurers, there are walk animations, but we haven't added those in the game. Although that's not super important. We could just have them slide around. At least for right now. And then, yeah, have it function as a worker. So the reason I was thinking of doing this first was because some of these other changes might rely on this. I am a little bit torn. I don't necessarily want to start something like brand new right now. Okay, well, we did this. That part's easy. What if we didn't do things the way I just said? What if we didn't add in workers? No, I feel like we should do this. Okay. It's so very sour. All right, well, maybe then how we'll do this is the sort of easy way to begin with. Let's go take a look at the graphics that we have. Inland pictures, super retro world, character pack. I think they're these ones, right? Yeah. Okay, let's open this in GIMP. It's presumably loading up. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Man, I don't usually get sick, and I certainly don't get sick for this long when I do get sick. But yeah, we'll see how today goes once I actually get to the work. Okay, so we have all the different walk animations here. And I think what we need to do is just pick one of these characters and throw all the sprites into the game. And then when you add an adventurer, you just put them in town. So add all of the walking frames for that character. Make sure the character uses all the different frames. E.g., walking right should make them use the right facing frames. Add or like differentiate adventurers. I'll say for a single character, just to make it easy at first. Differentiate adventurers by using different frames. Oh, hey, Darkstorm. Thanks for resubbing. Gonna lurk at work until the afternoon stream. Yeah, there might not be an afternoon stream. I'm gonna base it on how I feel this morning. And if it seems like everything's going well, then yeah, we could probably try it. It's probably not a good idea for me to stream in the afternoon. Hey, Zapvoid. I still want to take things slow. All right, yeah. So when hiring an adventurer, show it in the town, have a function as a worker, add all the walking frames, make sure the character uses all the different frames, differentiate adventurers by using different frames. When they enter a battle, remove them from the town. If they're holding an item, this will be holding that item. Yeah. And then we could just render them directly in the battle, but they'd need different animations. Excuse me. Oh, man. I took half of the recommended medicine dose this morning. I think my voice sounds better than on Monday, but yeah, I'm still coughing. I still feel a little tired. Like yesterday, I was laying down pretty much all day. All right, why am I hesitating here? Why do I not want to do this? Well, let's add the walking frames into the game for one of these characters. We have them for the worker. I want to look at that. Show in File Manager and open with GIMP. Okay, the worker has walking down, left, right, up, and then all the same things, but with no hands. So down, left, right, up, down, left, right, up. Yeah, we have all the same things. Okay. All right, so let's add in at least one of those. And I don't remember which characters were which, because I added in the mage. Yeah, these mage, rogue, and warrior. We don't need to keep those, but we should probably find the same characters. So are any of them here? I think that's the mage. Yeah, I think that's the mage. So mage is character 3. Mage is character 3. Rogue. Where are you? I think I put these in temp. Yeah. And let's just open this up. And this. And this. Okay. Whoa. Zoom in correctly here. Okay, so that had better be the right one. Yep, that is. Okay. I mean, it doesn't exactly look like a mage, but that's fine. And then the other characters are somewhere else. So let's go find them. Is that the rogue? It might be. Yeah, that's the rogue. Okay, so the rogue is character number 16. Yeah, 16. Rogue is character 16. And then the warrior is right there. So character 24. Yeah. Warrior is character 24. Okay. These I'm just going to cram into the bottom here. There we go. So let's add in. We could do this in a couple different ways. Hey, Hef. We could either split these up so that each character has its own entire sprite sheet, or we could just use the ones that are provided here. It doesn't really make too much of a difference right now. And we'll probably want all of the characters eventually anyway. But once we're in battle, we might have slightly different animations. But since we don't have them, let's not add extra work. Let's just throw these in. So I think we need 3 different sprite sheets then. Character 1 to 8 had the mage, right? What did I write down here? Yeah, 1 to 8, 8 to 16, and then or 9 to 16, and then 17 to 24. So we need those 3. Okay. And there are also split sprites in here too, but I don't think we need those. And what's this stuff? No, this is all the same stuff, but some other format. Okay. I think we're good then. Let's go drag these onto the game. So I'm going to put these in characters. And we put these in here. Okay, cool. Now, so we've added all of this. We don't have the animations for them exactly. Also, Adventurer doesn't even know to use these. And what is an Adventurer? It has abilities, it has health. It's going to need a state machine. And it's going to need I mean, I guess we have a scene, but this isn't really used anywhere, is it? The town does create an adventurer and adds them. They just don't have graphics, I guess. Is that correct? So if I click hire adventurer, actually let's hire a couple. There. So I've got all three. And now we go into remote, and somewhere here we should see adventurers. Town view, container, town, adventurers. Yeah, they're all three right there. And they just have their components node. But they have no sprite. Okay. So we need to add a sprite. And how about we start simply? Let's give adventurer an animated sprite. Animated sprite 2D. Give it a new sprite frames. Load in this character. That's not how you do things, right? No, that's not how you do things. You do it like this. All right, now we need to set the right sizes, which I think is 16 by 20. Let's see. Where's the size? There it is. 16 by, yeah, 16 by 20. Okay. So we can just set that in here. This is always a little bit weird how this works. I think you have to set this one 16 by 20. There we go. Was about to ask what's up with it. Yeah, I think there was a plan to add in the graphics and we just never did. So how am I doing this? I don't fully remember how this works. So let's just click add frames and see what happens. Yeah, not like that. Because we want, what is going on here? Or maybe, I don't know. Let's just add a new animation, testeroni. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Also, what are the errors here? There is no animation with name testeroni. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I need to add these to each individual thing. All right, well, we already have the worker, and the worker already has its animations, and I guess we need to name them the same way. So facing down, left, right, and up. Facing down, left, right, and up. And then this is the default. Okay. So let's go do that in the adventurer. How do we have this set to autoplay? We do, yeah. Okay. Hey, Trackley. Finally a programming guy. 6.5 Dark Eyes game dev. TikTok meme. What? I don't use TikTok, so I don't know what this meme is. Do you mind explaining? And hey, Nico. Hey, Titia. Always wonder how those tiles are set up. Yeah, it's pretty easy through Godot. I'm just being very slow right now. Let me close these things. And hey, anti. What program is this? This is Godot that you see. All right, so we want to, can you rename an animation? You must be able to. Yeah, there you go. Basing down, set this to autoplay, and let's try to get the same frame rate. It looks like 5 frames per second. Yeah, that's fine. We can always change these later too. This is why I left notes in the animation helper. Yeah, and I remember those notes. I figured I'd just look at the scene that we have here. Yeah. Okay, so facing down, I want it to look same general way. Well, it looks like left foot, right foot. Wait, there are 4 frames here. Wait, that doesn't look right. Where's the Oh, because there's the standing and then one foot and then the other foot. I see. Standing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I guess delete all of these things. Can we select multiple? No, you can't. No, yeah, you can't. Okay, well, we can just delete them like that. So they don't need to look exactly the same. Like, it doesn't matter if they're synchronized or whatever, but we do want to duplicate this one. How do we do that? This maybe? Copy frame, paste. Cool. Okay, so if we hit play on this, it should look correct. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, if we did want it to be exactly the same as the original, it looks like the left foot is slightly ahead here, and then the right foot is slightly ahead. But here it's the right foot and then the left foot. We could just swap these, but like, do I want to spend that time on every single one of these, swapping the animations? Probably not. In fact, probably what we would do is we just swap the worker ones. That way, if they're going to match, then they match that way. But it's not super important. Okay, so we can delete this one and then add in 3 more animations, and in the same order, I suppose. Facing left, right, and up. Yeah. Facing left. Whoop. Facing right. And facing up. Okay, so left. We gotta keep typing in the same coordinates. Kind of sucky. Okay, left is this. All right, and then we need to copy paste the standing one. Right. Same deal. Just got to keep doing this. Be nice if it remembered what the last coordinates were that you selected. And technically the left and rights could just be H flips of each other. Okay, and then up is the last one. That did not work. There we go. Now this one's a little harder to tell which one's the standing one, but it was always the second frame. Okay, so there are all of our animations. And now if we add in a new adventurer, then we'll see them show up somewhere, probably like right around here. Yeah, there they are. So they have a position in the world. They just never had a graphic until now. Also, I guess they look a little bit shorter than the other graphics. Although those are temporary. And the skeleton probably just uses more pixels. Might want to copy the hands node from worker, although they won't match. Oh, I never thought about that. Right, we have hands for the workers and adventurers are going to act as workers. Technically, the hands would be different. I mean, I guess that's what you said by they won't match, but this is like a whitish color glove. This is like, I don't even know where the hand is here. What's going on in this graphic? And this is like a gray color glove. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the hands node. So we could copy that over. Yeah, hey BioAim, thanks for resubbing. It's good to be back. It's good to be working on this stuff again. It's just, man, I want like the same energy level that I had beforehand. I imagine that this sickness is probably going to fully run its course in another like few days. Or at least I sure hope so. Most characters have a pretty dominant color, then modulate the hands. Yeah, we could. Or we could go the even lazier route and just get rid of the hands altogether. And that's probably what I'll do to begin with. I'm not actually sure. I guess all the hand stuff. Hand sprite. Yeah, worker has this. But adventurer won't have this. Is there anything specific that we do here? Yeah, in process, we handle the animations. Probably want to do that a little bit differently in the future. I'm not going to worry about the hands for right now. Yeah, and the adventurer is just hard-coded to be the, I guess this is the mage for right now. Okay, well, we did this. Now make sure the character uses all the different frames. So nothing is making them walk right now. When adventurers enter a battle, yeah, I don't have them actually doing anything. Make adventurers act as workers. They should restock items. Okay, what does it take to do this? So the workers have a state machine, and I think that state machine is added entirely through code. Yeah, it looks like it is. State machine. Yep, here it is. So state machine and then add child, and it has worker, wander, pick up item, drop off item. Okay, well, I mean, we could just do this exact same stuff in the adventurer, right? We don't have a ready function right now. Okay. Actually, let's put this up here. Not that it makes much of a difference. All right, get the state machine, get rid of the hand stuff. So the problem is that, let's see, a state machine for a worker took in different things. This is now a state machine for an adventurer, which is going to act as a worker. Cannot implicitly convert worker wander to adventurer. Yeah. Yep, that's a problem. This requires a worker. And why does it actually need that? Why does it need that? I don't think this is necessary anymore. Huh. What about the other ones? That also takes in a worker. And what about this one? Also takes in a worker. Okay, well, that should have been obvious. But why? Why? Entity. Do we do anything worker specific in here? No. Oh, this right here. Entity.storeroom. And worker must have a storeroom. That means, right? Yes, it does. Okay, well, we could probably just get rid of that. What about the last one? Drop off item. Do we do anything special in here? Probably also use the storeroom. Yeah, we get the town. So town and storeroom, those are the only things. Yeah, I think that's it. Really makes you wonder. Why did I do this? Town and storeroom. So if we had other ways of getting the town and storeroom, then this would all just be fine. Okay, well, that's the next problem we have to tackle. Can't just add the worker state machine to the adventurer because the states all require worker instances. This is only so that we can fetch the town and storeroom. We had another way of fetching those, then we wouldn't need parameterized states. Okay, well, wander itself does not require anything. So technically, this doesn't even need to be parameterized, right? Yeah. Hey, Carlos. Oh, man. Okay, well, what if we could just get that one working? So let's duplicate this, comment this out, delete all of this stuff. And then cut this out, just say entity. No, you can't even say entity though. Node 2D. Namespace doesn't exist. I mean, that's easy to solve. All right, let's try that. Does that work? We should have these characters just wandering around, although they won't look correct as they're doing it, but they should walk. Nope. Oh boy. How about cloning the worker and giving it the adventurer sprite and reference which adventurer it is? Yeah, we could do that too. I think genericizing these states makes a little bit more sense to me. Like, there's no reason why we have to do things this way. But I want to take a look at that because it's possible that I run into another issue. Okay, so what is this here? This is worker, and worker is an animated sprite 2D, which we can't use, I guess, like this. Oh, wait, do all these states have to match? Oh my God. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, darn it. Yeah, darn it. Oh, why did I do this? Yeah, we need to, I think genericizing these states would make a lot of sense. So this is a state machine adventurer, but it would need to be a node 2D, and then this wouldn't be a problem, but then the worker one would. I guess let's just delete the state machine for the worker for a sec. This is gonna break a lot of stuff. But the game should run. And adventurers should now move around, I think. Yeah, so if I hire an adventurer, yep, they're moving around. They're moving the same way all the other characters are moving, which is just kind of randomly and over the terrain. So that's it. You can only have 3 adventurers, and there they are, walking around like idiots. And the workers are just stuck in the portal because I deleted their state machine. All right, what do we want to do? So when we create a worker, we create it by setting the town in the storeroom. We could have ways of fetching this. The adventurer could just save this. And it needs this stuff for, not for wander, but for pickup item and drop off. Yeah, entity.storeroom and then drop off takes just the town. Yeah. Okay, so wander doesn't use anything specific. Pick up item uses the storeroom. And drop off item uses the town. Hey, Buffy, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm definitely recovering. I just feel like it's been slow. Yesterday, the only real stuff I did was maybe like 90 minutes of responding to comments and PRs. And then, I don't know, an hour of grocery shopping. And maybe like another 60 minutes of chores and stuff. So not really any work. And I just felt totally drained after all of that. This is not a full day. So I think the same thing's probably going to happen today, where I start to lose energy in the afternoon. I'm debating on just skipping that stream, and then trying again on Friday. And yeah, hopefully by Friday everything's fine. But I think at this point I'm just going to try to start doing a little bit more. Yeah. It's a better to recover than overwork yourself. Yeah, yeah, I think it probably is. I just want to do stuff. I want to work. I want to make progress on this. And I know that's not a good enough reason to do this. It's just because I want to. I should be able to do it. But the other thing that I've been thinking about is, I think I said July 19th was going to be like the target date for checkpoint number 2. And this is always up in the air because I think where it really is it's once we've addressed all the feedback. And I don't know how long that'll take. I think a month could be enough. But if this date slips, that's not a big deal. But I have another trip coming up in August, so I guess I can't go past like August 15th. But I don't think that'll be a problem. That's pretty much 2 months. Plus, at some point, I will be operating at full capacity here. Anyway, we need a storeroom and a town. And right now, workers are created with these. With a storeroom and town. So there are a lot of different options we can do here. Option number 1 would be what Dark suggested. Dark suggestion. Make a worker and point an adventurer. Option number 2 would be make nodes to store the town and the storeroom. When I say nodes, I mean components. And add them to both adventurer and worker. Option number 3, have some other way of fetching. Well, I guess it could be like store the town and storeroom directly in adventurer as well. I'm strongly leaning toward this. I feel like this is the proper way of doing things. So the entities are just entities, and their components are what give them interesting data or behaviors. And I think this is the proper way of doing this stuff. This really shouldn't take that long to mock up. So let's go try this out. Worker right now has these two things, town and storeroom. So we just go make two components and let's search for the one that's the simplest, or the closest to it. Belongs to shop component. Okay, this is pretty close. Yeah. All right, so let's make a town component. Town component. And we just replace the word shop everywhere with town. Hey, JustCard. Haven't seen your streams in a while. Glad to see you again. Out of curiosity, you're using GDScript. I'm using C# for this. I don't think I have a great... Wait, do I have a... I think I have a GDScript command that I added. No, never mind. There was somewhere... Oh, I know where it was. It's in the FAQ of the game itself that I put this. Because people always ask, like, hey, why aren't you using GDScript? And I have a link to the question here. It's not, you know, super well fleshed out. Welcome back, I think. Hey, Cubic, thank you. Yeah, I was not streaming for 28 days while I was on vacation. And now I'm back. I went to Spain. We walked like 200 miles. I was working on the testing PR. I stumbled upon the blog post on enjoyable game architecture from the guys who made the testing library. Okay, yeah. I'll write that down. Spain wasn't super hot. Yeah, it wasn't super hot. It was hot, but it wasn't like standing outside is unbearable. It was a little bit hard to walk so far in the heat that there was. But yeah, it was a nice trip. It was a very unique trip. For anyone who's never heard of the Camino de Santiago, it's just a very different way of spending your vacation and your time. And I commented this on Monday, but the short story is that you're not really alone for any of this stuff. You know, everyone does this thing and they're there and they're walking for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or sometimes a little shorter or longer. And as a result, you just mingle with a lot of people. So you go hiking for a couple hours with somebody, you eat dinner with people you've never met before. Hey, Manakas. Okay, so this should be, ooh, wait, what's this doing here? Why is this in, oh yeah, that's for town that we need that, huh? What's the best memory? Honestly, the wedding was fantastic. That's probably like one of the best weddings I've ever been to. Because the first few days was for a wedding and then the rest of it was for the Camino de Santiago. But yeah, the wedding was just really nice. It was touching. It was beautiful. The venue was great. The food was great. The people were nice. Like just everything about it was wonderful. Okay, so there's town component. We also want storeroom component. Oh, what were you doing in Spain, JustCard? All right, so storeroom, and then replace all of these. Okay, so that works. Now we go into worker, and we replace these things. So we say ecs.add component. AI is just the greatest thing. Like, look at this. I didn't have to really think about this. Just done, easy peasy. Now we delete this stuff. And now that'll probably break everything. You know, like it normally does. So this thing about parameterized state machines, I really need to put some thought into. Need to think about not parameterized, genericized or generic state machines. Is there a reason to have them? And my like off the cuff answer here is probably they make it quicker to write out a specific state machine, but then harder to apply it to multiple types. Yeah. There was touching at the wedding. Hey, Granny Zip. Small hiking trip. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what kind of weather you hit and what you consider to be good weather exactly, and I also only think in Fahrenheit. But it went up to about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, yeah, about 24. This is, in my opinion, is too hot to hike in, like especially if it's direct sun. It's pleasant to sit around, to eat food outside, that sort of thing, but it's not pleasant to hike in that. The ideal temperature for hiking is like 55 maybe. So yeah, 13 degrees Celsius. Hey, Smooth. Did you have fun? Yeah, you meet people from all over the world on this trip, and there are so few people that use miles and use degrees Fahrenheit. And I think, is there any country besides the US that uses them both? I don't think so. I don't know. But anyway, I had to convert for everybody that I talked to. I'm like, oh yeah, we walked this far, and sometimes I would just give up. Be like, do you know what a mile is? They're like, no. Never heard of that thing. Okay, now we go change all of the states to use Node 2D. Drop off item. And pick up, or what did I call it? Something about storeroom. Pick up item from storeroom. Yeah, this one. Hey, Siakon. This channel in a row. How many have you been to in a row? Talking about temperature? I mean, we were just talking about the vacation I went on, and temperature actually was appropriate, but that is kind of a weird coincidence. Third, oh yeah. Well, welcome to this channel where all we do is talk about the temperature. It's around 16 where I hiked, about 60 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I know there are a couple of countries that use miles. Oh, wait. Oh, you're saying both. Yeah. Okay, so then 3 countries in the world that use the same measurements as me. Hey, Miyazaki. By the way, I am feeling way better than Monday. I can tell how I'm thinking. I can tell how I'm talking. I'm not coughing my brains out. Oh, so who knows? Maybe there will be an afternoon stream after all. Okay, so we got those. This is going to break the states for right now. And then in worker, we need these to be a node 2D, which might work. Cannot implicitly convert. Why not? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I misremembered where I was. Okay, good. So now this should work. Yeah. And then same thing in adventurer. In fact, we could just put this back to what it was. Node 2D. Okay, good. And then we have 2 other changes we need to make. The storeroom now does not come from this. We get it from storeroom equals ECS.get component. It should know how to fill this in. What are you doing, AI? I was just complimenting you. How dare you? All right. Well, that's too bad. I've got to type some sort of coding caveman. All right, there's the storeroom. Now we just use it. Cannot convert type. Oh, right. Yeah, whoops. Storeroom. There we go. It's Copilot, yeah. This is what typically happens for me with Copilot. Well, just every once in a while, it types out exactly what I want, and then sometimes it doesn't type out what I want. Why can't it always type out what I want? Don't they know that that's how I want this thing to function? All right, there we go. I think that's it. I think this will just work now. Let's go try it out. Oh, wait, no, it won't just work because the adventurer doesn't know about the town. Create adventurer needs to take those things in. In fact, well, I might want to change this around a bit, but oh my God, my throat. Feels like it's sandpaper. All right, now we add these things in. Actually, to the point where creating a worker and creating an adventurer are very similar, which means we should probably do something about that in a little bit. Listing months and it got to June and had no idea what comes after that. AI is not that powerful yet. I mean, in C, 0 and below, water freeze, 100 makes water boil. You know the way I always kind of think about it that makes Fahrenheit a little bit better? Like 0 in Fahrenheit is cold for a person, and 100 is hot for a person. And that's about it. If you just think about it in terms of people and not water. Like your body temperature is 98.6 and the freezing point is 0. Or no, it's not. It's 32. Oh man. This is how I know I'm not 100%. Scandinavian mile is equal to 10 kilometers. I've never heard of that. Huh. I have an interview test tomorrow. If I nail it, I'll be offered a role without going into too much detail. It involves proprietary game engine for a well-known game from the 90s. Whoa, this sounds awesome, Miyazaki. I hope you do well. I'd also love to know more. Maybe you could just DM me and only me. And tell me what game it is. Well-known game from the 90s that needs to be updated. What game from the 90s is still being played and needs to be updated? That is a very hard to... Oh, I guess there were games like StarCraft that got remastered. Maybe it's a Diablo 1 remaster. It should in theory be better if you open your entire source code. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I doubt Miyazaki's going to confirm or deny if they didn't just say it in the original message. Did I finish what I was doing? I think I might have. Oh no, I did not. I didn't pass this in. We create this from the town, but I don't actually pass in this and then the storeroom. Where do we get the storeroom from? Oh, there we go. That's easy. I'm guessing it'd be PC. Yeah, I don't think it'd be like Super Mario 64. Plus, I think all the games that are being played from the 90s that aren't on PC are games that those companies probably wouldn't be looking to revive. Hey, Goose, I'm feeling slightly better. DM'd me for my eyes only? Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. I'll look at it off stream so I don't even potentially leak it. I'm feeling a little bit better. I think I can at least make it through the morning stream, and then we'll just play it by ear. Okay, so I see workers wandering around. Unfortunately, we don't have a way of granting items. Oh man, yeah, we got to add a way to do this now. All right, so the adventurer should pick up an item. Good. And yeah, the worker also picks up an item. Wow, look at that. All right, so now adventurers are acting as workers. That was not too bad. There was something I wanted to write down as I was just doing this. Oh yeah, a grant items button. I think we need that. We had it originally, but I just didn't think it was needed. But yeah, add in a grant items button. It's a little tedious now that there are stages to have to click create instance and then win all battles 3 times. Also, it takes like a minimum of 6 seconds, I think. All right, so make adventurers act as workers. Done. Make sure the character uses all the different frames. We haven't done that yet. Grant is at the touching wedding, Granny said. Common misconception. Yeah. Maybe you could fix the win all battles instead. Somewhat force the battle ended event. I don't think there's a problem with just having a grant items button. Also, I think the other thing is that a grant items button could fill your entire storeroom, whereas winning the battles could only give you, you know, up to like 5 or 10 items or something. And maybe you just want like there to be a ton of items. I'm not very concerned about polluting the debug menu. It's just for us. So if it's a button we never use and we decide, nah, let's delete it, then that's fine with me. Shouldn't be too hard to add. Okay, so using all the different frames in, I think it's worker we do this stuff. Yeah, process does this. So we could technically just copy paste all of this. I'm gonna start with that, but I don't want to end with that. But I just want to see how it works. So animation name is holding item. I don't think we care about because that's only used for the hand stuff, right? animation suffix. Yeah, we don't care about this. Facing up and we have to render the worker sprite above everything else. So the Z index doesn't have to change for us for this. Animation suffix, we don't have this question mark here, so this is just an empty string. So we can delete this. Oh, this is a node 2D, not an animated sprite, so we can't actually do things this way. Not exactly, at least, but that's okay. Position last frame, what's that about? Position last frame. Calculate the direction vector on the next frame. Oh, I see. Okay, like I said, we're copy pasting this in for now. But I want to change this. I think this should all be put in a component. Okay, so now for the animation, this needs to be the animated sprite 2D. And we'll just call this sprite, I guess. And then we'll set this in ready. Switch to physics. I added it only because we don't move by force. Yeah, I don't think we probably will move by force ever. But I think we need to store that in a different spot. All right, is this called sprite? I don't know what I actually called it. I called it animated sprite 2D. All right, there we go. And then we set this here. Sprite.animation equals animation name. Cannot implicitly convert. Is it because of this? Oh, the implicit conversion was probably made explicit by concatenation. Yes. Okay, well then .toString is all we need. All right, something like that. Let's go try that out. So now it should look like the adventurer is moving correctly, I hope. They're moving right, they're moving down. They moved up really fast. They have not moved left yet. There they go. Yeah, nice. It's looking good. Okay. Also, hey, Jost. I don't know if I said hi to you yet. Cool. All right, as I mentioned, I didn't want to leave things like this. So what's happening is we're setting the position in process. Components don't have a process, although they could be given a process. There's added and removed. Yeah, I think a system should be doing this. Why is that character smaller than the others? It's kind of an unfortunate effect of the graphics that we have. So the sprites are all 16 by 20. So if I draw a bounding box around this, this is 16 by 20. And you can see that this one, just for whatever reason, didn't use these top like 4 pixels. So the sprite is kind of small, whereas this one, you can see, is only not using 1 pixel. So it's a little bit taller. And then the skeleton, whoops, the skeleton is using pretty much all of the pixels, I think. Yeah, it's using all 20 pixels, so it looks a little taller. I don't know if that's going to be a problem, but that's why we're progressing in terms of checkpoints here. Because if everyone is like, hey, why are these characters short? Then it's probably something we got to change. So they're using all the different frames. We're just not doing this in a nice way yet. And I think the nice way of doing this would be to make a system out of this. And yeah, I think we'll just write that down. Make a system out of the animation stuff for adventurer and worker. They should have something like a walk. What would I call this? Like walk animation component that can store position last frame. Then there can be a system that acts on that. Excuse me. All right, well, that one's done. Now differentiate adventurers by using different frames. What I meant is using different sprites. I mean, sprites, frames are pretty much the same thing in this case, but We only have the one. So there are a few different ways we could do this. We could programmatically set up the animations. And I'm tempted to want to do that. Because if we look at, how do we even look at this? Well, it's got a sprite frame somewhere. So I guess if we go to the adventure scene, TSCN. Texture undefined. What? What? It's doing that. Oh, that's not. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I don't care about this. Yeah, this is all. It's okay. Okay, so we have a texture. This must point to, yeah, this points to this. It's got a rectangle in it. Yeah, we could programmatically set these up. And it wouldn't be that bad. Yeah. I think that's how I would want to do this. It's going to be a little bit weird because you won't be able to look at it in the editor anymore. Okay. I think it makes the most sense to do this programmatically. I was gonna say that looks like it's spelled wrong. You know, it's easy to blame this on sickness, but what if I'm just an idiot now? I knocked one too many brain cells out, walking tons and tons of miles. Yeah, Swedish people are going to take over the channel pretty soon. You'll tune in, it just won't even be me anymore. Is there any other part of this? No, I guess not. Maybe it's worth checking what I've done then and then do this afterward. Yeah. Okay. Also, this is bothering me a lot. Yeah, I want to check in just this and say update UI. Wait, what did it even update? Format? No, what's different about this? Oh, it updated the UID. Okay, update UID in main.tscn. I don't know exactly why this is happening, but Godot seems pretty set on doing this. So I'll check in the change. I wonder how many people would actually watch if I were to learn Swedish. Because even Swedish people might be like, okay, this is boring. A fun week? How easy do you think the language is to learn? Because I don't think you can learn any language in a week. Wait a sec, why'd this change? Oh, because I saved this scene? I don't actually care about this. Just revert this. Not easy, but you're smart. There was someone I remember watching on TV a long time ago. Someone had tried learning a language. They were basically like a genius, and they tried learning a language in a week or maybe a month. And apparently they got pretty impressive progress, although they didn't fully learn the language in that time. Have you been watching the news lately? Someone's going around stealing the wheels off police cars. Cops are working tirelessly to find the perpetrator. Hey, Balrog. How you doing? I read, have you been watching the news lately? And I'm like, let me read the person's name. I was like, okay, it's probably a joke. Should be a piece of cake. Well, I commented on this in one of my videos I made a while ago, but I think the US government did some research into if you speak English fluently and you're going to another language, how long does it take you to learn that language? And I think Dutch is the easiest. And I think it was like, I don't know, 28 weeks or something like that. And I think Arabic was maybe the hardest. And I don't remember how much that was. Where is even that video? Learning curve, Adam learns. It's not even gonna come up when I do this, I bet. Oh, nice, it did come up. Okay, here's the video if anyone actually cares. But I'm just gonna skip right to the part that I was talking about. Hey everyone. Shut up. Shut your face. Yeah, here it was. Yeah. Dutch is 24 weeks and Arabic was 88. And yeah, I didn't list all the languages, but there it was. state.gov/foreign language training. So yeah, 28 weeks. By the way, this is like pretty much full-time learning. 24 weeks is about 6 months. It's like half a year of full-time effort in learning a somewhat similar language. And I don't know what level of fluency you are after that. They have some way of like rating your language proficiency. But yeah. I'm looking forward to 24 weeks. Well, okay, fine. Where does state.gov language, foreign language training, where is Swedish on that list? There was a chart here, right? There it is. Oh, Swedish is 24 weeks. Oh, wow. Actually, a lot of these are 24 weeks. I thought Dutch was the easiest, but I guess it's tied for the easiest. And actually, French is apparently harder. Huh. Then category 2 takes about 36 weeks. And then all of these are in category 3. I always heard Polish is a really hard language. And I actually spent 3 years learning Arabic. Oh, Arabic is in its own category of 88 weeks, along with Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. So East Asian languages and Arabic. Those are the hardest for English learners, English speakers to learn. Hey, Rami. Where are all the U's? They're gone. Think of how much time you save typing out words like color and favorite now. There were a lot of Australian people on the Camino, so I got to learn a lot of Australian slang that I'd never heard before. Although I don't know how to spell any of it now that I think about it. Let me look this up. Yeah, I learned about a Duna, which is just a duvet. I'd never heard this before. I also heard about some other things. I mean, they're all things I can share here. It's just, I'm not going to talk about slang for the next like 10 minutes. Danish in 24 weeks seems a little optimistic. It's pretty much full-time learning. So it's probably not so optimistic when you consider it from that point of view. Everyone always responds in English. This is pretty common in a lot of places, Rami. And I think that if you're learning a language or you've learned a language, that you're always excited when you get an opportunity to speak it. And if you have two people who are excited to speak different languages, then one of them usually kind of settles on the other person's, and then they know we're unique. Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, never mind. Ignore everything I was just saying then. You really want to learn Japanese and it falls in that 88-week category. Yeah, and remember, since that's like really focused learning, that means that casually learning it would take quite a lot longer. I think the problem with language learning in general for, human spoken languages is if you don't have someone to speak it with, you will eventually just lose that information. Or maybe you have a different reason for learning it. Maybe it's to watch certain TV shows or something, in which case, yeah, I guess you could keep it up that way. Okay, so now these are all based on Node 2D. I'm okay with most of this. Yeah, I'm okay with most of it. I like this change quite a lot. You know what we should do really fast, though, is we should put this back in and then press F12 on these and see if they're used anywhere. What, are these generated? What is this? Yeah, generated. I don't care about that. And is this generated too? Yep, cool. All right, then delete all that. So let's hear some of your Swedish skills. I've never even tried learning Swedish. So I don't even know if I know a Swedish word. Done 91 days of Duolingo in Japanese, 130 in Spanish. Yeah. Well, I think Duolingo is not great for fully learning a language. I think it's good for starting out with a language. This looks good. Yep. This is the same general change. Good and good. Yeah, cool. All this looks nice. I want to do a .NET format before I continue here. It always takes a very long time. That way I just don't check in any unused imports. It'd be cool if knowledge just didn't decay. That if you learned something 10 years ago, it was just as fresh in your memory today. Although you'd probably have some pretty catastrophic outcomes from that. Like, you know, an emotion you felt 10 years ago, you probably still feel as strongly today unless you've processed it, as opposed to just forgetting about it. So make adventurers act as workers. This isn't fully finished yet. All adventurers look like the mage. Actually, that's pretty much the only problem, right? Oh yeah, and I think they probably stay in the town even once you get into a battle. Let me try that out. The Nonograms game? Oh man. I tried it out in the browser the other day, but it doesn't synchronize your progress to your phone, which is very unfortunate. Okay, so there's the adventurer, but then when I hit start battle, yeah, they're still there. Yeah, so that's got to change at some point. Smooth, that's a pretty good joke. I don't know enough about Finnish to know this joke, yo. That formatter seemed really slow. It took 10.45 seconds. And I don't know exactly what it's doing, but yeah, it is pretty slow. So all adventurers look like the mage, and the adventurers stick around in town even when they've entered a battle. All right. So commit that. Oh, Kuzlo. Okay, yeah, you're right, you're right. It is a great start. It took quite a long time to learn that one word. Okay, so differentiate by using different sprites. I think it's actually break time now. Yeah, it's been about an hour. I know this is when I normally start the stream, but I felt like starting early. So I'll take a break and then we'll come back and we'll finish up these things. This is going pretty well, I gotta say. Yeah, it's been pretty smooth. Yeah, so I'll be right back. Is it jump time? Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, for those of you who haven't seen this, you can type join to play, and then the instructions are here. You got about 35 seconds to join. How to be your workers now? Adventurers. Adventurers are going to be your workers. I'll explain more when I come back, but I'm going to go take my break. I'll be back in a little bit. Hey, everybody. All right, close the game. Let's get back to programmatically changing sprites here. So, do the adventurers know their... No, they just have texture path. Okay, we would need like an overworld texture path as well. So add overworld texture path to adventurer data, manifest that data correctly. But then something has to actually set up the animated sprite. And I guess it's the sprite frames. And I guess we'll make a new sprite frames. Let's just do this in, I don't know, let's just do this in here for right now and just see what happens. So sprite frames SF equals sprite frames. Actually, we could make a new one entirely, right? Yeah, you know what? I want to do that. New sprite frames. Is this a problem? New can be simplified. Sure. Okay, then sprite frames equals SF. All right, so how does this work? We need to add animations and stuff. Is add animation. Okay, what is it? String name. All right, so facing down. And then what do you add frames to the animations? Texture 2D, duration, at position. Okay, the problem with any of what I'm about to do is that I'm not sure how to get... I want an atlas texture. You're right, we have challenges yet unresolved. All right, the challenge yet unresolved is that I need an atlas texture for this. So Godot, create atlas texture. All right, how's this work? We just set the region and everything. Okay, I mean, it seems pretty easy. Could we get this from a texture 2D? Is there some like atlas thing or region or something? Inherited by atlas texture. Then I guess we just construct one of these. Atlas texture equals new. This does not make sense. There's got to be some way to load this, right? Free get. All right, let's just look this up. Godot make atlas texture dynamically. Complete guide. I just want to see what the code looks like. Make a new one, load this, and then image texture.create from image. We need to make an image. Excuse me. Man. Just want to look at one more thing. Although we're probably just going to do the same thing. T.atlas. Oh, there's an atlas in here? Atlas. Yeah, there it is. Aha. And you are a texture 2D. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so where does our sprite live? In res/assets/characters/ something in here. There we go. Cannot implicitly convert to texture 2D. That's fine. Now what? Object initialization can be simplified. Sure, simplify for me. Cool. All right, so that's our atlas texture. Now we need a region from it. And I guess let's just pick this. Except, you know what? Let's make this go from 9 to 16. Yeah. There is no version of Botland up and running, no. Unfortunately, keeping it up and running, I think would be a lot of work. And up until I had my mini PC, it also would have just cost me a bunch of money. But now I guess I could technically host it on the mini PC. But even still, setting that up would be pretty crazy. Because so much of it was just expected to work with AWS. And yeah, I could change a bunch of things. I just don't really think it's worthwhile. It would be kind of cool to have it. Like if I had made just some simple, hey, start this up in Docker and it's good to go. Maybe, maybe someday, way in the future, if I'm ever like, you know, I got 3 months off and I'm itching to do something. But yeah, it's a ton of work and there's no real payoff, I think. All right, so add frame. Can we add in the Atlas texture from this? Do I have to keep making a bunch of new Atlas textures? Or can I reuse the region? All right, we're going to try this. We're just going to see what happens. If this worked, what should happen is that we should have one frame being used. Oh, I guess we would need to add in 3 other animations. Down, left, right, up. And then do this too, right? Something like that. All right, so what should happen is the character, when they're moving down, will have one frame that does not look like this. But then every other direction, they'll just be invisible, I think. Okay, well, they're not invisible, but okay, that's working. So how would I make this? Oh, I see. No, wait, I don't see. No, I see. I added the same texture a bunch of times. Yeah, how do I make many of these? Like, are these all individual different Atlas textures? I guess so. They all have different IDs. Wow. I wonder how that works. Oh, we need to set looping animations and stuff. How do we do that? Set animation loop. I want all of these to be looping. Or do they loop by default? Maybe they loop by default. If loop is true, I don't know if they loop by default. Doesn't really matter. We can just set it. All right, so that's setting the loop. What else do we need to do? The duration. The duration's fine, but the FPS we need to set. SF dot frame rate. Set frames. Get frame count. There's no, or maybe speed. Set animation speed. There it is. In frames per second. Is that what it said? Frames per second. I want 5 frames per second. Yeah. I think it would be cool to have Botland up and running, and yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I should put my effort into other games at this point. You see the Nintendo Direct? Yeah, I did. I had no idea about the new Zelda game until that. Although maybe nobody did until then, but I've just not been paying attention to really any news. But I think I'm going to buy this. And then, yeah, Metroid Prime 4 looks like I'll probably buy that. And then there was the Mario and Luigi game. Still kind of on the fence about that. But I think those look the most interesting to me. Probably needs to have the default animation too. That's true. Although I don't know if the default matters. Because we set it in process. Animation and autoplay. SF default. I don't know how you even set a default. And then autoplay? I don't know how you do that either, huh? Autoplay default. set frame. Huh. Where are these properties then? Loop true. We have that set for everything. Speed we have set. Where's the autoplay thing? Oh, maybe it's in the animated sprite. That's probably true. Yeah, it's probably there. So we probably say sprite.default animation, the current animation. Yeah, we can probably set this, and then can we set what's the other thing I needed to set? Autoplay? Autoplay. There it is. There. Cannot convert from bool to string. What is this supposed to be? A autoplay is a string? Key of the animation to play when the scene loads. What? I don't know what that even means. Autoplay. Yeah, I guess it is this. Okay, cool. So we do need a different atlas texture for every single region. That'll be fun. Although one of the regions gets repeated, but it doesn't look like we didn't. No, we did. We reuse it here. PIBRG, PIBRG. New Zelda looked really fun. Mix of old and new Zelda games. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed by the idea. Because I was going to say, when they're like, you can make tables, you can make chairs. And I'm like, this sounds so boring. And then they said, you can make enemies too. And I was like, okay, all right. I don't have to throw chairs at enemies constantly. That sounds a lot better. That's just, what a weird thing to focus on, though. Like, you get a rod, and look, now she knows how to make a table. But yeah, I still haven't really played a lot of Super Mario Wonder. I bought that a while ago, and then I wanted to borrow Final Fantasy VII, the second episode or whatever, from a friend. So I've got some games I got to work my way through. Well, I'm spending it all on nanograms now. All right, so now the only thing we need to do is add in all the different regions here. Okay, so let's go take a look. They're all laid out the exact same way. So we just need to get one of these characters working. How about we start with this one? Hey, Monatic Bind. How's it going? Hi, Yai. Oh, wait, no, I should not follow your pattern or else I'd tell you to die. Hello, Yellow Della. let's just repeat that. Okay, so here's how these are laid out in the actual image. It goes down 1, down stand, and down 2. And then the same thing, left follows the same pattern, right, and up. So we need all of those, and we need to know that it's 16 by 20. So I think we can set all of these up dynamically, but it's gonna take a little bit of effort here. And we need an offset. So let's start with that. Int start x equals, let's say 0. Start y equals, oh, nice, you're off today. Yeah, it's really good. I want to be working, and I think I have more cognitive ability than I did on Monday. So we've actually made some progress so far, and I'll be able to show you when I'm done with this block of code. But we got adventurers working as workers, and now we just need to differentiate the adventurers. Okay, so the frames that we want to add, we want to, I guess we could, I don't know the best way to do all of this. Let's just start with a loop here. Okay, so we get an atlas texture. We're going to load in the name of the texture. Let's put that up here. String texture name equals that. Texture name. Then add frame texture. We don't need to change this. This can be deleted. This can all be deleted too. All right, so first things first. This is the, I guess we need the width, or like frame width is 16 and frame height is 20. So that can go here. So this is going to be start x plus frame width times I. And that'll be the 3 facing down frames. Then we want to get frame texture facing down 1, 0, 1. And we want to add that again, right? If I can just get this working for facing downward, then this will be fine for everything. Okay, I think that's probably good. And like I said, this will only look good for when it's facing downward, but let's try that out. It's also going to be a totally different sprite. It'll be the orange character, I think. Come on. Come on, walk downward. I think that was down. Yeah, I don't think this is working. What did I mess up here? Maybe use the animation name for that. I'll have to take a look at what you mean because I don't follow right now. Condition E. Animation facing down doesn't exist. Oh, I didn't add the animations? Add animation. No, it's there. What? What did I mess up? How am I feeling today? I still feel sick, but I feel better than I did on Monday at least. So as long as I can make progress, I think might as well make progress. I am not actually sure. Oh, right. We can't set the speed of any of these things before we've added the animations. That's the problem. Okay, so that explains those 4 errors. But then there's also this. Setting autoplay after the node has been added to the scene has no effect. Really? Well, then we won't set autoplay, I guess. Do we have to play the animation? Play the animation with key name. With key name. So what, facing down? Probably don't even need to set anything else, right? Let's try that. Let's just see what happens. Oh, the enumeration. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me write that down. And then set animation name from the enum name. All right, what does this look like? Still broken? But there shouldn't be errors, at least in the console. No, there aren't. I'm not totally sure what's going wrong here, but let's try something else. Let's just have all of the different animation names. And that way, no matter which direction they're facing, something should be happening here. There. Are workers and adventurers the same now? Not exactly. So an adventurer can do battle and can also restock stuff. A worker can only restock stuff. So when an adventurer is doing battle, it won't be in town any longer. So it can't act as a worker anymore. And I think this is going to do a couple of nice things for the game. Right now, you only have workers. So you need to hire more and they only do one thing. Whereas you already hire adventurers. So what if they helped out in your town? So that's one thing. The other thing is it'll give the adventurers a view in the town so it's clear that you actually hired somebody. Can you peek at the animated sprite in the remote tree and see if it added the frames? Yeah, I'll try that out. Oh, hey, no, that is working. Oh, it's not the orange character. Okay, I know what's going wrong then. Yeah. So it is adding the frames. So then all we need to do is make these be the different frames now. So facing left is the next one. So start Y plus frame height And I'm going to consolidate all of these in a bit. But for now, not quite yet. This is now times 2. And this is going to be times 3. All right, let's try that out. Okay, they're walking right, down, left. What about up? Walk up. Ah, good, cool. Yeah, looks like it's working. And now what we can do is we can change the start X and start Y to be frame width times 0, 1, 2, 3 and frame height times 4. Yeah. So that's the character that we'll pull from. So now it should look like a different character. Yeah. But the animation should still be working. And if I grant money and hire another couple adventurers, we'll see them all walking around. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, now let's consolidate these for loops. We can just do for, what do I want to say here? Int facing direction or facing index. There we go. Then put this here. Then put string animation names. It should already know what I want. Good. And then this can be pulled from here. Animation names. Facing index. Cool. All right, this is going to be frame width times I. This is start Y plus frame height times facing index. And that's it. The rest of this code should just be deleted. Cool. And then, yeah, simplify that. See how that looks? Looks good. They should be moving just like before. It's just we don't have 4 for loops. We just have 1. And this can technically be animation names.length. All right, this is how many frames per animation that we have, which is 3. Just get rid of some magic numbers here. And then, excuse me, man. And then this can be done here. So add another standing frame at the end. It's so that there, I'll just say so there are 4 frames. 1 foot forward, stand. The other foot forward, stand. Yeah. And then instead of commas, let's make them arrows. There. Okay, so now this isn't needed. This isn't needed. And now instead of these, we can use the enumeration, animation something, animation name. Yeah. I guess we could just do it that way, right? Dot facing down, dot toString. It's probably an even easier way to do this. Except for they have to be in this order. Down, left, right, up. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, now the only other things we need to do... Oh, whoops. All of these things need to be changed too, huh? There. Any other places I hard-coded that? Yes, here. Animation name facing down. Okay. This is looking good. Let's make a private function so that all this stuff is in one spot. Set up animation frames. That's where all of this goes. And then the final thing we need to do is this: add overworld texture path and then manifest that data correctly. It's actually more than just overworld texture path. It's more like animation frame identifier or something like that. Animation frame identifier, which is a texture path, a start X, and a start Y. Something like that. Yeah. So I guess I'll save this in here as adventurer animation frames animation data. That's pretty good. Animation data. Okay, so this has a texture path and then an int start X and start Y. Hey, Pressel. And thank you for the welcome back. All right, now we pull this in. Adventurer data. So adventurer data is also going to take in this. This is going to be like overworld animation data. And then everywhere we construct this, which should only be 3 of these, I think. What is going on? Yeah, here we go. 300 kilometers. Yeah, 300 kilometers. My legs are fine now. I mostly had foot problems. And I also feel like the tendon in my hamstring was getting tighter and tighter as I went. That was a little scary. But yeah, the foot problems have, I think, almost entirely gotten better. I think my wife's knees are still hurting though. Don't hurt yourself. Yeah. Generally good advice. Thank you. All right, so we can make a new animation data. So this needs to pull in, let's just copy paste whatever I did over there. Yeah, this. And a start X and Y. All right, start X, let's just say 0, 0. In fact, let's say this for all of these. There is no argument given that corresponds to the required parameter. String int what? Oh, what? Because there's a comma at the end? Okay. All right, so this should work just like it did before, and then we can actually manifest the correct data. Yeah, now let's manifest the correct data. Take action before injury. Yeah. How did you hurt your shoulder? I think shoulder injuries are pretty common. I'd really move the sprite resource links out. Yeah, I think that can be done. The way I see it is this is already just a bunch of magic data. So to have more magic data in here is not too crazy, but yeah. Yeah, 300-kilometer trek. Let me show you. We went from Leon, Spain. Why is this? Hang on a second. All right, yeah. This was the trip that we did. Except for us walking. We landed there and then just right from the airport just walked pretty much the whole way. Yeah. It was probably an average of like 24 kilometers per day or something. So it's, yeah, certainly was something. I was dumbbell bench pressing at the gym. I was super tired and had zero focus. Somehow controlling the weight down, it slipped, and here we are. Oh man, I'm sorry, Pressel. Yeah. Was it pre-booked? Yeah, we pre-booked. There were some people, I guess, at the beginning who had a hard time finding beds and then needed to like taxi somewhere else. Taxiing kind of sounds funny because some of these places are only maybe 5 kilometers away, but when you've already walked 25 or something, you don't want to walk another 5. All right. So mage, rogue, and warrior are all in different places. So warrior is in 24, so 17 to 24. Rogue is in 16, and mage is in 3. So the mage being in 3, I don't know what numbers these need to say. So I don't remember how they're named. It's named 1 to 8. That makes sense. Now for positions. So this would be, these should be like character indices. In fact, I should probably just set this to be character number or something like that. So fine. Int character index. In which case, I guess we already have these. 0, 1, 2. This would be 2. The rogue is 16 and the warrior is 24. Rogue is 16 and this is 24. And I'm intentionally subtracting 1 from each. Okay, now we need to go recode the adventurer thing. Yeah. Did I have bad experiences with accommodation? Not really, no. I did get bed bug bites at one point, but I don't know when. But I noticed bites I'd never seen before. And yeah, so now when we came home, we left all of our stuff outside. And I haven't had any problems since we gotten back. Probably when I slept. Right, no, I know when I slept, but like, I don't know what day. I don't know how long the bites take to show up or when they start itching. Add pragma at the top and then restore. Oh yeah. I feel like having it be explicit, like an on and an off in the file, is preferable here in case we ended up with something else in this file, and that way we'd have the warning again. But yeah, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Also, these would probably always just be alone. No. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, over here. Yeah, so we should have the adventurer class. Yeah, it's in init. And it gets saved inside of the adventurer component, which we can then fetch from here. So adventurer class, there we go. All right, so start X and start Y. This is where we got to convert. We got to convert from a number like 2 into this position. And there are 8 characters per thing. So int character row equals, well, I guess we should put it this way. Int num characters per row equals 4. Int num characters per column equals 2. So then the character row is going to be all adventure data dot get. This is going to be the character index. Oh, we also need, oh my God. Okay, let's back up a step here. This is all going to come together pretty nicely. It's just a pain to write all this out. Generate class. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. This should have just been import. Oh, I called it adventurer animation data. Yeah. Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. So this goes here. The texture name comes from texture. Okay, so we got the character index. Now the row is going to be equal to the index divided by number of characters per row. And then the column is going to be that percent. And then this is going to be number of characters per row. 4. This is the x coordinate. Yeah, so this times, there's a number of, I'm just going to say times 3. Yeah, whatever. All right. Something like that. Yeah, this is probably wrong. I'm gonna need to make this a little bit clearer. Let's just see. If it happens to work, then it works. But yeah, I probably messed this up. Okay, well, the mage worked. Or wait, no, that's supposed to be the rogue. Okay, I guess it didn't work. Yeah, no, they all look like that. Whoops. Wait, how's that even possible? That I messed them all up? I'm getting them from the wrong class. Take care, Pressel. Hope your shoulder imaging goes well. Yeah. All right, let's redo this really fast. So number of characters per row is 4. And then frames per animation is 3. So what we really need to do here, this should have been frames per animation. And then this is the number of animations. Int num animations. This goes here. And this goes here. Okay, let's put a breakpoint here and just see what's happening. Do you know how to handle compilation times with C# and Unity? ASM defs are used, but I don't see an alternative here. I don't actually. Sorry, John Doe. Maybe there's some information online. For me, times haven't been too long yet. But yeah, there might be a way to speed it up eventually. And I guess any amount of time you're waiting is time you probably don't want to be waiting. What happened here? Why is it not working? Something failed. Value cannot be null. Get component. Adventurer component. Init is called after ready. Oh my god. Well, that's too bad. Yep, that's too bad. Well, let's just call this before and see what happens. Shouldn't be a problem. Also, that probably explains why everything was broken. So let's just try running this. I would be kind of surprised if I got that working though the first time. All right, that's correct. That's the rogue. And do they walk correctly? They're walking left and right. That was a little strange. They're walking up and down. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's hire another adventurer. Next one up should be the mage, which should have purple. That is not purple. So that's broken. And then the warrior is completely broken. Oh, how fun. How very, very fun. All right, well, I know what went wrong here. And it's actually in a different spot than I would have expected because I messed up an easy thing. This should not have been 23. This should have been the index in that particular sprite sheet, which is 7. And then same thing over here for the rogue. Where is the rogue? The rogue is also 7. But I think what is fun? What are we talking about? Oh, did I just casually say like, oh, that's fun while getting a bug? Yeah. See, I'm not totally out of it. Okay, that's even more broken. Yeah, I think everything is wrong now. Like, which characters is it picking? Because that would help to know. There's a character with like white and green. Where are you? Oh, is it this one? It's this one. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how that's happening. I don't understand the point of life. The point is what you make it. What would you like your point of life to be? I did remember that one though, Ramy. All right, so there's the white and green one, and then there's this one with the green hair. No, wait, no. That one with the blue bandana. Where's the blue bandana one? There it is. All right, yeah, something's wrong. Well, I guess let's close out of this and let's try this again. So I think this one was working just fine. The only thing I really care about here is that start X and start Y are set correctly. So start X is 48, start Y is 80. And this is for the row. That is not right. 48 is here. And 80 is here. Yeah, that's not right. 7% 4 is 3. Yeah. What? What did I mess up then? Character row is 1. Character column is... Oh, it also thinks it's 1. What's the index? Where's the index? There it is. It's 7. 7% 2. Oh, whoops. That should be per row. Whoops. In fact, we probably don't even need number of characters per column. All right, well, let's try this again. Why do you like programming so much? I like creating. I think of programming as one way to create, but the more I think about it, the more I like a lot of different ways of creating, like writing, composing. I guess programming is one of them. I think there are some nice things about programming though. For one is I think it's like a lot of math and science, which means it makes sense. And you can see the effects of your work pretty quickly. And you can make use of the power of computers. So if you were just writing with pen and paper, you can only write so fast. You can only come up with so many ideas, right? With programming, it's like you could make a VR game or something like that. That's a level of creativity that was just not accessible to humanity, even for most people like 20, 30 years ago. How do you manage without the number one function keys? I've got a video that explains a lot of it right there. I think that would be an easier way of explaining than me kind of repeating the video. So yeah, feel free to ask me more questions if you watch that and you do have any more questions. I'm happy to answer. Did we get this working? Did I even try it? That is definitely broken. I think I coded missing no. How did I just break that? Did the other ones work? Nope. How did I break that? Well, like I said, this was going to be the hardest part of this, and then we're just done. So let's just keep doing this until we've got it working. So the character index is 7. Row and column, row 1, column 3, that's correct. Start X is 48, start Y is 240. Okay, that's the problem. The character column being 3. Why do we need num animations there? No, it's the row. Oh my God, that's why, because I'm messing everything up. Wait, that doesn't. Oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Character column, this should be over here. Yeah. There we go. Stuck here with a 2.5-month-old haircut and have to wait another week. Does that coincide with our mentoring session? Do I get to see long hair cave goblin Ramy? It does. Unless you get a haircut on Wednesday. I hated programming when I first started learning C++ over a decade ago, and my stance was I really disliked system programming. Yeah, I think if there is a feeling of inadequacy or complexity around what you're doing, that it's harder to enjoy. Yeah, my haircut the day before. Oh, that's too bad. Just too dang bad. Yeah, I don't like C++ programming either. Glue it back on. Could you please bag up my hair? I'll take it to go. Side of marinara sauce. Hey, we got it. There's the proper rogue graphic. Now, do we have a purple character pop out of here? Yes. Now, do we have a red character pop out of here? Yes. We did it. Look at our cast of characters that we have. All right. Nice, nice, nice. So now we can get rid of these unused variables. There should have only been one, actually. I don't even know where it is. But yeah, I'm glad this is working. The character index, I should probably clarify what that even is. Adventure animation data. How do you even write a comment for this? Because it's a struct. I don't know how you do that. C# doc comments on record struct. Add comments to record. Apparently, wait, what? I don't know. Start with it before the record. I just want I want to comment on character index. I mean, I guess I could still do this. Yeah. When does C# have records? I don't know, actually. I think C# 9, maybe? C# 10. C# 10. Yeah. Phonetic mind. So much new stuff with C# 10. Yeah, I really just dove into C# 10. And I think the last time I'd really used C# was probably like 2015. So I don't know what came in where. All I know is that a bunch of it was new. Yeah, I just want to write a comment for character index, and I don't know the like proper way of doing this. And maybe even here isn't the proper way, but whatever. I guess I'll just write it here. How do you, I don't remember how you do any of this stuff. How do you make, whatever, C# doc comments. I don't remember any of what I'm trying to do right now. There's a way to make a parameter comment. There it is, param tag, yeah. Okay. So the index of the character and the textures should have 8 characters. So the number would be in the range 0, 7. Yeah, that's as good as I want to do, yeah. Modern C# looks alien to me. There are a lot of nice features. Yeah, I generally like a lot of what's been done. Oh, Spurman, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back. Congrats on the 50 months. All right, well, we've done pretty much everything I wanted to do in this change. I think this is looking good. Yeah, I commented on what that is. We have this gigantic setup animation frames thing. I think there should be just a tiny change to this, which is that we should have, can you put const in here? If I say this is const, is it, oh nice, you can. Okay. Well, then let's make some of these things const and set them at the top. Const, I think it's a float animation speed. Or animation FPS maybe is better. 5. Any other constants that are showing up here? Just this. Add is 1 because it's the second, it's the standing frame number that we get. All right, fine. Const standing frame index equals 1. And put that there. Cool. Can we use read only instead of const? I think that's only for member variables. I think you can iterate over enum values here. You probably can, but that requires that they're always in the correct order. And I felt like this would make it so that, actually, I guess the question is if we ever iterate over them in another case. Get animation from direction. Position. Like here they are in the correct order. Up, down. No, wait, no, they're not in the correct order. Up, down, left, right. Yeah. It wouldn't work if we did that. We'd have to rearrange these, which I guess we could rearrange them. But yeah, the reason why I have to do it this way is because the graphics themselves are in the order down, left, right, up. So we need to match that here. So we have down, left, right, up. Yeah, C++11 came in and changed everything. Yeah, I hope to just never use C++ again. Records are the new model classes. Yeah, the way I'll show you some of the records that we have here and just you'll get an idea for what this is used for. So it's an easy way of just saying, here's a bundle of data. And you don't need to write out every little piece like you would in a class. So you just put it directly in what looks like a constructor. And now when you make one of these things, it'll just have all this data and that's it. And you can have them be values or references. And then there's syntax for changing those things. And I think, how do you do that? I think it's the with. Let me see if I can find this. I thought it was with. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so if we have this damage info is a read-only record struct. And so if I want to change a value, use with, and then in curly braces, you'd say the new value that you want. Should be fine to update the enumeration in dictionary, right? It should be. Although I don't know if we're going to expect that the order of those values matters. Like we would have to write directly inside animation name that like the order of these needs to match the order in the sprite sheet. It's probably just not worth doing that. All right, I know I've looked over this a million times, but now I think we're finally good here. Yeah, so use proper sprites for each adventurer. Not every adventurer looks like the mage anymore. All right, so where do we leave off of this? When hiring an adventurer, shown in the town, done. Differentiate adventurers by using different sprites, done. When adventurers enter a battle, remove them from the town. And if they were holding an item, then they'll still be holding that item. I sure hope that part just works. Remove them from the town, though. I don't know how we're going to do that exactly. I should probably take another break. It's been 2 hours. Yeah. Yeah. There are a whole lot of C++ alternatives, I feel. And I think this is just what naturally happens with languages. I think for a long time, there were languages that offered some uniqueness to them. And then I think we entered an era where practically every language seemed to have the same general features. But older languages had a harder time adopting those features and keeping backwards compatibility. So they're kind of just bloated messes now. And yeah, new languages don't have the cruft of all the backwards compatibility that was needed. Maybe just set inactive. We might be able to just make an adventurer invisible in the world, but we would want to make sure that they're not still moving or processing. There could be a lot that could go wrong there. Anyway, I'll have to think about this when I get back from the break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, again, anyone who hasn't seen this, just type join in chat and you can play. It's got to be Twitch chat, not YouTube. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Hey, everybody. Close the game. Close the game. Well, I want to close the game. There we go. Skill issues for me in this game. Well, in the lobby area in the beginning and at the very end, you can always kind of practice if you want. Close it, baby rage. All right, so remove them from the town so they can no longer act as a worker. Let's think of what this would be exactly. We want the adventurer to still exist somewhere. And when we put them into a battle, either the instance tracks them or... Yeah, the instance can track them. But we don't want them functioning anymore like a worker. Well, how about this? Where do we actually send them into battle? Where do they need only the strongest potions? I think create instance here. Get adventurers, create instance, get first available adventurers. Oh, there's an is in battle thing? Do I ever set this? Oh, look at that. Hmm. Okay, I'm trying to think about this. We put the adventurers into battle, but we don't. Where do we add a sprite for them? Somewhere. Not here. Must be in the instance itself. Excuse me. I don't remember any of this. Battler.init. Where? Adventure data. Texture path. There it is. Yeah. Init here. We get a sprite frames path and we just set it here. What is this? Oh, it's a battler. Okay, I see. Okay, so the battler has a sprite. Okay. And then we know which adventurer it came from. And we still want to keep track of that adventurer. So yeah, I think we need to hide the adventurer and we also need to make sure that it's not doing anything. So how does its state machine work? I don't remember how any of this stuff functions either. Process, set current state. We could have another state in the state machine that is something like stop doing stuff. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because we have wander, we have pickup item, and we have drop off item. What if we had like in battle? And in that state, they just don't do anything, and they have to maybe manually transition out of that state. Or could we disable the state machine altogether? Current state.process. We could have like a pause on here and then just make it invisible. All right, let's try a couple of things. One, wherever we set this thing to true, the adventurer should be told about this. Public void set is in battle. Bool is in battle, yeah. All right, I don't care about this stuff. All right, adventurer.set is in battle to true. I don't know if we need this AC thing here, do we? We apparently do. So let's delete that. And let's put that in here. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, so there's that. Now I don't want to set this anywhere else. Where else do we set it? This is AC. We want the adventurer. How could this possibly be null? Try get value. Yeah, how, what? I don't think this can be null. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. Adventurer.set is in battle false. There we go. All right, any other ones? Nope, looks good. Cool. So we didn't just do anything different. We just relocated where that code was. But now when they're in battle, what we could do is we could actually turn this thing off. And I think Godot has a way of doing that. Pause node. To pause a node, set its pause property. Does it have a pause property? Nope. Node 2D doesn't? Pausing games. How pausing works. Get the tree. For all nodes. I can't just pause one. Godot pause single node. I mean, I could just keep track of a Boolean and handle things like that. Pause a scene / a node. Process mode. Process mode disabled or process mode inherit? Huh. Process mode? Oh, interesting. Process mode disabled. So if you're in battle, then disable it. Otherwise, inherit it, I guess. Okay, so let's try that out. I think if this works, this should just freeze the adventurer. I did not actually hide the adventurer, which is why they'll just look frozen. So we hire an adventurer, they're walking around, and I click start battle. That took some time for them to look frozen. Seemed wrong. They're there, and I click start. Yeah, they're still moving. Oh, because the state machine is still processing. Ooh. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Maybe we just pause state machines. Oh, wait, no. It's not even the state machine that's processing. I know what's going on. It's the navigation system that's processing them. Yeah, so we probably need a special... We probably need a special state. Okay, well, it was good to try this out. Let's set the visible to not is in battle. I think this is what you want. Set process. Yeah, I think this normally would be, but I think in this case, I've got another system acting on this because this has a particular component. So we got to do things differently. I need to change states. And this is going to be the first time that we need to manually set the current state. How did we do this inside worker wander, for example? We just call transition. So any state could be preempted by being in a battle. And then when they get done in a battle, I guess if they have an item, then they transition to drop off item. Otherwise, they pick one up from the storeroom. Okay, something like that. Not quite exactly, I guess, but yeah, I want something like that. So how does transition work? Transition just knows to get this from the state machine. What do you call? You call emit signal. And a state knows how to do this. And then the state machine listens to all of those. State machine listens to signals. Yeah. All right. Could we just force a transition? Not as currently defined. We can't. But we could make it force a transition. Maybe I should write this out a little bit. All right. So problem right now is when an adventurer gets into a battle, we don't want them to do anything on the overworld anymore. And the state machine will still process unless we pause the node, and systems will still act on these entities unless we remove those components. So solution number one would be transition to an in-battle state so that all of this sorts itself out. And really, I don't think there is any other solution number two. I think it's just this. I just wanted to write it out to, you know, flip a coin and find out in the air what I wanted. Yeah. The reason we have to do this is because the way this works, we have a state machine, and the state machine is like wander around and then go pick up an item and then drop off the item somewhere else. There are currently 3 states, but what if there were a bunch of other states, like go get food or whatever? Just picture anything, like a character starts picking its nose or something like that. Any of these states might add or remove components, and then other systems may start acting on this entity just because it has those components. So we need to leave whatever state it's in so that the state can reset itself. For example, in worker wander, we have this code. If it doesn't have a target, then find a target. And when it leaves this state, it removes whatever target it had. So we need to leave the state. But we don't have another state we can go to, and we don't even have a way of going to that state, even if we had one. So first, let's go make a new state, and we'll call it in battle. New in battle. All right, so let's go save this as in battle. In battle. I don't even think anything needs to happen in this state. Oh, you know what could happen? We could say entity.visible equals false. And then just set it back to visible at the end. Yeah, interesting. Now we just need a way to transition into that state. So transition. Yeah, there, something like that. And now state machine isn't saved, so we got to save it, or we've got to fetch it. State machine equals new. Does state machine know to give itself a name? I don't think it does. No, it's just a node. Of course it doesn't know. Does ready even exist on node? I don't even, it must. Yeah, because I have these. Yeah, so let's say public ready. We're gonna just set the name equal to state machine. Maybe we even make a public read-only const or whatever. Public const string node name equals state machine. And then use this down here. Yeah. And then fetch that from the adventurer. Right, so get the state machine equals get node. There. All right, looking good. Except that it doesn't know that this exists because apparently it needs to be a node 2D. In fact, at this point, this is kind of stupid. Let's just save this in the class. State machine, node 2D. State machine. There we go. Go use this. Get rid of this. Put an underscore there. And now we just need this function to exist. Generate method. Maybe this would be like forced transition. I don't know. But we want to transition to another state. State T state. How does it even know to do this? I don't know. Transition name of. It's just with a name. Oh, well, that's easy. Wait. What? It's signal name of transition to this. Oh, we pass in the current state. Why do we do that? Ah, okay. Well, it should have been named. Wait, why do we do this? I don't know. I don't think that's needed, though. Oh, interesting. We could just do this, right? And then this is inaccessible due to its protection level. We could just make this not protected anymore. It could just be public. Let's try that. Let's see if this is just a big dumb thing that I'm doing. Internal members should come before private. It's just public. But it's just come before private. All right. Is that working? Okay, let's try that out. Yeah, let's try that out. So if I got this working, then as soon as this enters a battle, this thing should just disappear. It's gone. Yep. And now it fights, and we're going to make it lose the battle just because it's faster. And it reappears. And if it had an item, and that's the part that's going to be worth testing. So I'm going to hit win, win, win. Okay, so now it's going to pick up an item. And then I'm going to make it enter a battle. Okay, now when it loses the battle, it should still have that item. And it should know to go drop it off. Yeah. But wait, I cut it off right before it made it there. And now it goes and drops off the item. Nice. Ooh, it's all working. All right, that pretty much closes the loop on making adventurers work as workers. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. All right, I need to write a comment for why this class even exists. The reason why it's needed is because the player can choose to enter a battle at an arbitrary time, which means the entity may have been doing something whose state needs to be reset. Hence why we need this new state. For example, imagine if an entity has a target. How do you do this again? There's like a cref or something. Cref, yeah, cref. Equals target location component. That should turn yellow. Why is it not yellow? How do you do this? Is it not cref? cref. There. Now we can, no, we can't go to that. Is it not called target location component? What? Why can't we navigate to this thing? Oh, because I need a slash? I don't know what's going on right now. I missed a lot of this background noise lurking, but that battle bit at the bottom left is looking crisp. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Darkstorm did a lot of that work on the... Where is it? On the instance itself. And the rogue doesn't have any projectiles to use, but if I hire another adventurer and start another battle, the mage does have an actual fireball graphic now. I don't know if you'd seen that, but that was from right before my vacation. And yeah, now it switches between the battle scenes. There's still a bunch of work that needs to be done here. It feels kind of weird allowing adventurers to enter battles while doing a task like carrying an item. Would it make sense to delay them until specific states not involving items? So this is something that was thoroughly considered. And the reason why it doesn't make sense in this case is because instances can be started with parties of adventurers. And so let's say you have a rogue and a mage and a warrior, and the rogue is holding an item and the mage is not, and the warrior is holding an item, right? So you click start battle with your party and it's like, okay, the rogue needs to go drop off its item, and it does, but the warrior is still holding one. And in that time, the mage can't pick one up. And like, it just be a lot of weird states waiting for all of your characters to be ready. And they might not be ready anytime soon. So like, in order for the rogue to drop off its item, there needs to be a space for it, but that space might not exist. So you might be waiting like a lot of time for your character to drop it off. So I think it's better for them to just carry their item into battle essentially. And then when they're done, they can just do whatever they want then. It might be that it feels weird, in which case maybe we could do something else. Like maybe they drop the item on the ground or something. I'm not sure, but I think this is going to be good from a gameplay perspective. Yeah, something I still apparently can't wrap my head around is why are these yellow and the other ones aren't yellow? If I put this here, no, it's not yellow here either. And you also can't F12 to this. Well, whatever. All right, so for example, imagine if an entity has a target location component because it's in the cref equals worker wander state. by having that component, the navigation system will act on the entity. So even if we hide the entity from view, it'll still be even if we pause the entity, it'll still be moving. Okay. Something like that. So now we have a way to force a transition here. Forces a transition to a different state. Node name. The node name thing isn't really needed. In fact, I think we can just write this here, state machine. It's not like we need to fetch this from outside the class. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good. I'm happy with this code. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, the adventurers disappear. Now, they shouldn't disappear entirely. I guess really to complete this, they would run into the portal or something like that, and then they'd enter battle. But that's not super crazy to do. I just don't think it's worthwhile to do just yet. Now, the really nice thing, I've been mentioning this, and this is what I'm super happy about. So we released checkpoint number 1 right before my vacation, and then we got a ton of feedback. And I haven't shown this in a while, but we're actually up to 46 responses. Now, if we never get another response, that's totally fine because I've got way more than enough. But from those 46 things, there were some pieces of feedback that kind of bubbled up to the top quite a lot. And one of those pieces of feedback was in the original game in checkpoint number 1, you would click hire adventurer and it would just say hire the rogue and you'd have no indication that anything else happened. And if you didn't see that text or if that wasn't flashy enough for you, you'd just be like, is that my rogue? Is that my rogue? And now we can see that the green-haired character is the rogue and they're wandering around town. But that's one little thing that now there's just some more feedback that you did the thing that you thought you did. And yeah, you hire your other adventurers and you see them here. The other thing that's nice about this is because they have the same sprite here as they have in battle, it means that you can get a little bit of a better identity of your characters. And in the future, we might make them move faster or slower in town. So maybe the rogue is really fast in town and goes and picks up items and stuff. And maybe the warrior is this like very slow lumbering character. Maybe they can hold 2 items at once. I don't know. We can do a bunch of different things in the future. Ember, thank you for resubbing. Welcome back. But yeah, this has been going well. I am back. I'm still slightly sick, but I definitely feel a lot better today than I did on Monday. So I think by maybe Friday, everything will be back to normal. And the next week is going to be content involving other people. So interviews, mentoring. Yeah. Everyone's getting sick right now. Yeah. I got sick in Spain and then it was just, yeah, it was the worst flight ever. Yeah, this is looking really good. All right, let's check this in and let's mark that it fixes this. Yeah, so that's done, that's done. Oh, and then remove the hire worker button. Okay, we didn't do that one part yet, but that's not too bad. In battle. All right, looks good, yeah. Hide adventurers on the overworld when in battle. This also puts them in a temporary in battle state so that nothing tries processing them while they're hidden. Adam patient 0. I hope not. Okay, so hiding the hire worker button is just, removing the button, right? But I want to see, is there any reason that we should keep this in? Like if I grant money, maybe it should just be a debug button and we should delete the cost. Yeah, I think that could be good. We put it in this menu and that way players can't access it, but I could. So we also have add customers that way too. Yeah, I like that idea better. I think that's what we'll do. All right, so where is hire worker? It is inside town. What is that? Town. It's just inside town. Well, guess we delete it. Oh, hey, Nuka DeLuca. I haven't seen you in forever. Been work lurking for the past 2 hours and felt criminal to not say hi. I love what you're doing here. Sorry to hear you're sick. Glad to hear Spain was amazing. Yeah. What have you been up to? Nice to see you again. Yeah, I'm really excited about this game that we've been working on. And really the amount of time that we've been working on it has not been too crazy. Development started, I was just on like a month-long vacation. But yeah, started the GitHub repo on April 17th. So it's been exactly 2 months and 2 days. But yeah, about a month of that was not really spent developing it. 2 months of launch, stress figuring out multiplayer lobbies and setting menus. Oh man, 2 months and being stressed about multiplayer lobbies does not sound good. Well, I look forward to seeing it. Can you post something in Discord about it? Or I guess here if you're not in Discord and don't want to join. Either one's fine. But yeah, I'd like to take a look. Have you been, out of random question, but have you still been playing Smash Ultimate? Because I still watch it, but I haven't played for probably like 2 years or something at this point. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to go and delete that button. Where is the button? Hire worker button. Yeah, delete you. Where's delete? I can never find that. I watch every day. Never play because I am bad. Yeah. I think it's hard to get better at the game without having people in real life to play with. And I got so used to back in college playing games with people that you could just walk over to their place. And now it feels like no one's a walk away. If I lived next door to somebody who played, I'd probably be playing all the time. I don't really watch anymore. I should though. It's so hype. Yeah, it's there's a lifespan for every game, and when it starts out, people are figuring it out. And Smash has had its final patch a long time ago, so now everybody who's playing the game competitively like knows the game, and it's just a very different thing to watch and seeing how people play and react and which pros are really good. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Nuka Duluka, I'd love to hear more about your game. Same thing, Monatic Pine. I'd love to hear more about your game too. Feel free to text or Discord or something. It's good to follow progress. All right, so we deleted this from here. There's a debug menu somewhere though. And this is where I want this to be again. So hire worker. This should be gone. Why is it still here? Oh, because I always forget to hit save. Oh my God. There, now it's gone. Hire worker button. Here it is, town menu. Yeah, I'm gonna delete this. And I just want to make sure I put this in the right spot afterward. How do we add things to the debug menu? Well, let's see. There was a grant most things button. Where is this? Set up debug buttons. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So does it matter where this goes in here? Probably not. Let's add a new button, add worker. And I guess we'll capitalize this like everything else was. And I think it's called hire worker. Hired. It is not hired worker. Upgrade worker count. On hire. Oh, yes. It's upgrade worker count. Okay, so all I've done is move the button. It still costs money, and it shouldn't cost money because it's a debug button. Well, let's see. It's gone from here, right? Yeah. And it is here instead. And this says not enough money. We could just We could just leave all the cost stuff in here and just give you enough money. But I feel like that's kind of silly. Let's just delete all this. There. Going through the process on Steam right now. Hoping to have a free demo up in the next couple months. Woo, neat. Yeah, very neat. How do you feel? How do both of you feel? I mean, you're both a couple months away from different milestones. I mean, both are demos. One is early access. I don't know if the other is officially early access. And I feel like even with, I think pretty much all game development, it's like as you get the game into people's hands and they say, yeah, this is fun, it's like the greatest thing in the world. And there are some games you can show people and they just get the fun value immediately. It's like I was showing a couple of people on my own vacation just nonograms, like the pen and paper game, except for it happened to be a phone app. But people sort of got this pretty quickly and they're just like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, if only Botland were this way. I could have shown people and been like, hey, look, it's Botland. Do you like it? Yes. Did not work out that way. All right, so now there should no longer be a cost to hiring a worker through the debug menu. Yep. Now, I do believe there are lots of errors here. What are these doing? Oh, because of the hire worker button not being here anymore? Yeah, delete that. Hire worker button. On hire worker.invoke? What is that? What is this? Oh, the town menu had a signal. Yeah, this isn't needed anymore. Any other wacky errors that are going on right now? Also, give me 1 sec. Engage privacy mode. Yeah, what is this? Okay, I don't know what that was. Pickup pics. Love the mega sized ones. I would probably like the mega sized ones more on a proper screen. I feel like this app that I'm using has 80 by 80 puzzles. And the problem with 80 by 80 is that it's really, really hard to read all the numbers on a phone screen. And you can play on the computer, but unfortunately you don't get the same progress like rewards that you get by playing on computer. So it's probably a much better experience there. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if only I had a larger screen that I could play on. I know there are emulators and everything. Maybe, I don't know. It's nice to be able to play on the phone. But yeah, for the phone, I feel like the perfect size is like maybe 15 by 15, maybe 20 by 20, something like that. I'm a bit freaking out since there are so many broken things. We've talked to 16 publishers. Wow. Content creators lined up to play, running closed play tests alongside bug fixing. Hey, Nuka DeLuca, if you haven't already, there's the, what is it called? IGDB, Internet Game Database. Yeah. If you add your game here, if you haven't already, it'll show up as a category on Twitch. And doing that ahead of those content creators could probably be a good idea. First time we're really showing the game to the public. That said, it's kind of niche, so we're very much tempering expectations. Oh, cool. I wish you both a lot of luck. Yeah, it's exciting times. I think one of the things I learned from Botland, and I think a lot of people who are in game dev probably already know this, but don't just, release a game and then abandon it. I think the climb to getting people to play it can sometimes take about a year for some games, apparently. And it's like, that's not time you have to spend actively developing the game and doing stuff, but yeah, that's time where you can get more people to play, try to get some news articles, etc. Oh, you're on it already. Oh, cool. And yeah, printed paper. I've never tried large puzzles on printed paper. But yeah, that could also work. I guess it depends on how large you print it though. All right, are we good? Did we get rid of all the errors? No, wait, there's still one. What is this? Hire worker button. Oh yeah, I don't care about that. Oh, in fact, this function isn't even needed. Town hired worker. We don't need that. Worker button. So what is hired worker used for? Anything? Oh, Raimu, thanks for the tier 3 resub. Welcome back. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling a lot better. And I realize it as I'm interacting with people that it's like I'm able to still kind of split my focus a little bit. I'm still going a lot slower than I think I normally would, but we got good work done today. I'm happy about that. So this is only used here, and there's no real reason for this. So I think I'm going to just delete this. In fact, if this is just create worker, then we don't even need this thing, do we? What does create worker do? Yeah, I think let's delete that. Upgrade worker count. Create worker. Okay, I think we're good. Let's try it again. This was really just moving a button, but there were a lot of references to those buttons. So add worker and any errors. Nope, we're looking good. Yeah. So for those who didn't see, by the way, the main change from today that I've done so far is when you click hire adventurer, you now get an adventurer in town, and they can not only enter battle. So if I click start battle, then they disappear and they go into the battle, but, and this would take a while, but if they win that battle, let me win the battle a bunch of times. Here we go. Good, good, good. Then they can act as workers and they can go pick up items and deliver them to the right spots. So it used to be that you'd only have workers for that, these skeletons that you have. But now that your adventurers can do it, there's a reason for them to stay in town. Whereas before, there was no reason for them to ever be in town. You would always want them to be battling 100% of the time. But yeah. Okay, so this is move hire worker button to debug menu. Now that adventurers can act as workers, I don't think the player should be able to hire more workers. Cool. Let's just look through the changes again. Yep, looks good. All right, that's that task. Remove the hire worker button. We're done with that. All right, so we can close this task. Something I just realized I never did. Normally I do this on, I don't even know when, Monday, Wednesday, but I never set up my iteration here. I also don't know when this iteration ends. When does this end? How do you even tell? Current iteration, where's the dates? What? There's some way to see iteration. Here we go. June 12th to June 25th. So that's 6 days. Okay, so it would behoove me to set this up. Oh, there's a no status issue somewhere. This. Inspect leaked resources. Okay, this should be put into backlog. Yeah, there we go. Is it gonna update? Did I save it? Yeah, I saved it. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah. So where's that? Getting adventurers act as workers. Proper pathfinding. Consider adding proper pathfinding in town. I'm definitely doing this one next because this should be pretty fast. Grant items button. Yeah. Town debug menu. Does this also give items? No. All right, well, we're going to say grant items. All right, how does granting items work? I guess we can go through each shop and maybe... Actually, wait a second. We have a grant items button, right? Or a grant items function. Pathfinding, hope you code it from scratch. It wouldn't be too bad to code pathfinding in a 2D map with no like changing terrain or bridges or something like that. But I think Godot can probably already do it in a performant way. Grant items, add items, instance ID. All right, we can just call this function a bunch of times with random instances. Yeah, sounds good. So for int I equals 0, I is less than, let's say, yeah, sure, whatever, 10 times. All right. And then I want a random instance ID. How do we do that? Instance ID dot get value. How do you, what? Isn't there some way to get like all the C# get values of a new? How to get all values? I don't remember how to do this. Get enum list. Enum dot get values. Oh, there we go. Enum dot get values. Instance ID dot samples. Cool. All right, that should work. Like I said, this is very easy, but I think this is going to be a very helpful button. So if we say grant most things, all right, we get all of our storeroom. And now if I click grant items, it doesn't completely fill it, but yeah, it's pretty good. Now let's just add in a bunch of customers. And there we go. Yeah, looking good. I wonder if these characters are holding items at all. I guess we'll find out when they come back into the town. Oh man, it's really hard to see which ones are the... I see the mage. Where's the warrior? Where's the warrior? There it is. I think it was carrying armor. Yeah, it is bustling. All right, it's working. Add a grant items button. Now that battles have several stages, it's easier to have this button again. Good, that is done. All right. Oh, the sprite layer is based on their Y value. Some were going under and some over. There's a Z index in Godot, and yeah, there's probably something being based on that. And it might be the order they're created, and it may be that they have, yeah, it might be the order they're created. I'm not sure. But some of this will get ironed out once we have proper pathfinding and they're not all just kind of wandering over all of the terrain. Although when we do have proper pathfinding, I guess the storeroom is going to get pretty crazy. Especially if we don't allow people to walk in the gray area, because this would become like a, I guess there's no bottleneck. We're not going to have collision between the workers. But yeah. Hey, Jazz. How's it going? All right. I wrote don't push it with streaming. It'll be obvious if I'm feeling better. I think it's been pretty good so far today. I don't know if my energy level is just going to tank at some point. This is all the stuff I need to do next. And there's quite a lot of it. I want to figure out, it's 10:52. I've been streaming for about 3 hours. It's kind of almost lunchtime. So I think having an afternoon stream would be good. But I don't think this will take up the entirety of the afternoon. Oh, we also had some quest tasks. What were these? Make sure we're turning the right item for the quest. Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone ever saw this. Or maybe I showed it. I don't remember. But there are quests. If you upgrade your shop, you get a quest. You can accept the quest and then pick which one you want. Eventually, this UI will be different. And then this just shows 0 out of 10 items. So now if I say grant items, oh, it's got to be for the right shop, though. Okay, hold on then. Let's upgrade this. Let's just click grant most things. There we go. So now any weapons will automatically go into the bin instead of into the shop. And quests are going to be how you get some permanent upgrades. So things like, you know, plus speed on the overworld or plus damage in battles. Or maybe customers have more money or something like that. And yeah. So yeah, I don't remember if I showed that off, but it's working. So yeah, what was remaining with this? Turning in the right item for the quest. Oh yeah, it was checking to see if you turned in a weapon. Keep track of which quests were done. Upgrade shop button still works and is enabled. And then a way to track permanent rewards. Yeah, I don't think that's worth starting today, but that's definitely something I should probably get to at some point. So let's put this on the... Let's put this as ready and set it for current iteration. Yeah. And then this task is not being tracked anywhere else, so we'll do that. And you know, we'll start that maybe on Friday. Yeah, I have a lot of organization stuff still to do. Okay, so instances need to track things. I got to fix a bug with adventurers. Consider spawn locations for an instance. Yeah, I think all this is pretty reasonable. All right. Well, I think that's this afternoon. Got a good amount of work cut out for us, but yeah, things have been going pretty well today so far. I am overall quite happy about this. At some point, I'll feel like I'm more on top of what's going on here. I haven't really been looking through all the different tasks we have and figuring out what do we need in order to get checkpoint number 2 done. I think there's some way for me to take a look at everything in a particular milestone. I don't know how you do that though. How do you do that? Checkpoint number 1. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, we can just pick the milestones here. Got it. All right. 31 open issues. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Yeah. All right. Oh, there's a lot of work. All right. I am going to get going for this morning. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back in about an hour, maybe. I'll be back after lunch and maybe some rest. So it's currently about 11 o'clock, so maybe like 1 to 2 hours. And I'm going to aim for like 2 to 3 hours. We'll just try to get these tasks done. I just joined. Sorry, Supercuber. Yeah. Yeah, normally if I weren't sick, I think this would all just be totally fine, but there's a lot to do today still. Anyway, like I said, thank you all for watching. I'll be back in a bit. I hope you have a good rest of your day if I don't see you, and we'll just keep working through this list later. Take care. Bye.